Then that means I can start recording. Hooray! Everything seems to be set up correctly. Welcome along to episode 6 of The Mighty Nine, who are not that mighty, and there aren't 9 of them, but, you know, maybe those are things that can be addressed over the course of a couple of seasons. If you've not been along to one of these recordings before, I record reactions for like a whole episode of a thing, but in order to do that, I don't want to put the whole episode of the thing on screen if I'm gonna get, you know, copyright nuked from orbit, so I offload that responsibility to you. You're gonna have your own copy of what we're watching on your own screen, and you're gonna have to stay in time with me by following my little countdown commands. 3, 2, 1, go, and 3, 2, 1, pause. Because we're going to go on go, but then sometimes I'm going to need to yap about some shit, and then I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, pause, and then eventually I'm going to be done yapping about shit, and then I'll say 3, 2, 1, go, and that's how we stay in sync. You've also got yourself a timestamp and some subtitles that will help you stay in touch with where I am. Is that inconvenient for you? Yes, it is. Intentionally so. I'm offloading my inconvenience onto you because this is technically my chill out, relax, and have a good time channel, and not my do a bunch of very difficult work in the editing software in order to avoid copyright strikes channel. So, if you find that too annoying, you can join the Discord with the rest of these, I want to say people, probably. Yeah, statistically probably people. And you can watch us do these reactions live, which is more convenient than having to sit through the start and stop pause thing. Or you can become a member of the channel, which will also give you access to the Discord. But more than that, will give you access to some more convenient versions of these reactions that are easier to deal with. But you don't have to do any of that. You can just stay right here and click pause and play when I tell you to, like a good little puppy. And without any further ado, let's just get into Mighty Nine and see what happens next after the trauma dump that was the last episode. 3, 2, 1, go. We're getting into Fort this time, are we? Rather like that dagger did. Oh, hey, she's coming back. She's also a character. I saw her in the intro. That's just the shit you say right before you get murked from off screen by something horrible. Again, just like saying all the shit you say right before you get very badly murked. Yeah, no, oh boy, that's just Captain Death Flags. Just Captain Death Flags. Marching out there, it's like, oh, there's no way the orphan maker is real, and even if she's real, she's just a woman, and there's no way we'll fail in this. Oh, geez, you didn't have to do the horse like that. So either those guys are like all just level 1 normal humans, or else she's like level 12. That's a lot of attacks in one round. I know that's not the point. I know we're not actually counting D&D rules that closely here, but this poor girl. We'll talk about her character design in a sec. Ah, I see. A geese, then? Ay, 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 ay. Well, that's a way to go. 3, 2, 1, pause. A new hero has entered the story. Yay! Oh boy. I might have some trouble putting this on screen on YouTube. Guess we'll skip past the most extreme bloody bits, I suppose. But this poor girl is like marked from the start, right? Like, and it's a little bit of a character design thing, right? It's not as bad. Like, when you watch a bunch of anime, right? Like, there is this thing in anime where it's like you can always tell who's a background character because those are the people who have like normal hair color and like nothing particularly colorful about it. Like, they have like generic haircut number 1, 2, or 3, and they have generic hair color number 1, 2, and 3, which is usually brown, black, what, like something to that effect, right? So there's these little visual things that mark them out. That's kind of a little bit what's happening here. Where, like, first of all, she's front and center in the frame, right? Like, she's front and center in the frame, so obviously she's like, the show is pointing our attention at her. Like, this girl, something about her, we need to pay attention to her. She's important for whatever the scene that is to follow. And then there's a few other things, right? So we generally have these bright red uniforms, right? Like Empire uniforms in there. But if you pay attention, you can see that guy's sleeves, mostly dark, right? Like, that guy is, background kind of faded out, washed out. This guy, just entirely gray uniform. She's front and center. She has the brightest, reddest uniform, right? Like, she's like the splash of color that's central to the thing. So there's a lot that the show is doing with its visual language to draw your attention to her and say, hey, this character is more important than the other ones. Like, there's something about her that matters a little bit. Pay attention to her character design. Pay attention to how she looks, right? Because she's marked out not just by like being front and center in the camera, but being a little bit more colorful, a little bit brighter, a little bit like she's more lit also, right? A little bit more saturated. There's a little bit more spark to her than there is to the rest of the sort of background NPCs. Right? You can see it here again, that in the foreground, she's the one who gets to be brighter, less washed out, more saturated, brighter in color, brighter in light. Like the color values. It's good cinematography, like, to draw the attention where it needs to go. You can even kind of see it in this frame where she's over here and she's out of focus, right? But still, she's kind of brighter than anyone else in frame. So she's been marked out as like, pay attention to her. Something about her is important. Something about her is interesting. Something about her is separate from the others. And we find out what that is here, right? She looks a little bit like whoever this is. Dead lover, one assumes. That's sort of the stereotype. Like, this is very dead wife coded, right? Like, this is very like wind billowing through soft curtains and like the glimpse of long hair through it. Like, it's very dead wife coded, the imagery here. And we get that like from like the bangs on her head, the shape of her face, the hair color. Just a little bit of like, oh, she sort of kind of looks a little bit like, which takes our barbarian into a reverie, Yasha. A reverie from which she is disrupted by whoever it was that she made a deal with, I guess. Presumably, my assumption from like this scene playing out is like, okay, once upon a time there was a girl, something bad happened to her, or something bad happened to the relationship. Yasha was desperate to forget about it, desperate enough to sell her will, her services, or to go into some kind of contract with whoever this motherfucker is, who branded her on the back of the neck, and now he has the ability to control her free will. My assumption is, I believe there is a spell in D&D that's called Geas. I'm not 100% sure about the pronunciation. I think it's geese. which is like you are charged with a mission and you have to do that mission, and if you don't do that mission, you take serious damage until you die. Someone in chat is having trouble hearing me? Is it because I'm silent, or is it because I'm just quiet? Because that's Discord problems, unfortunately, that you have to deal with. So, like, that's my assumption. Like, that's the... And what I want to point out is this is very efficient storytelling, right? Like, you get this one scene of this character doing horrible brutality, being briefly stopped by a memory of something that's soft and beautiful, right? And again, like, color. Here in the real world, everything's gray and brown and muddy and shitty, and the sun is going down, like it's all orange and it's all hazy. Everything is hazy, everything is in fog, everything is brutal, everything is ugly, everything is desiccated and dry and miserable. And in the land of memory, sky is blue, like the trees are green, the flowers are blooming, the world is beautiful, the sun is high in the sky. It's very efficient storytelling to sort of, like, we get immediately the sense of, like, oh, okay, this right here, that's what that means to Yasha, right? Like, this scene, this moment means this. It means light. It means lightness. It means life. It means gentility. It means blooming. It means, like the chance of the world being better. Whereas reality is bad. Reality is everything's grim and awful, and mercy is not really an option. And certainly the indication here, like, again, it feels like what Yasha is like, I'm going to get the information and then I'm going to go, and she doesn't really want to kill her. But then whoever is holding the leash says, no witnesses. And then, yeah. So it goes. And Yasha seems somewhat used to that. There is an indication in her animation, though. If I could just get my timeline to scroll correctly, thank you. Like, after she kills, the way she walks away, like, there's like a robotic quality to it, right? Like, it's not really, she doesn't have any emotional response visibly to this whatsoever. There's like a robotic, dissociated quality to it that it's like she crumpled a beer can and threw it to the side, right? Like, there's no sense that any of that meant anything to her, which is in conflict, right? Like, the idea that this meant absolutely nothing to her is in conflict with this, right? Like, clearly it did mean something to her, but she's not feeling it. Whether that's the effect of the brand on the back of her neck, or whether that's her own dissociation from the reality of her condition, or what it is, who knows? But it does give me a sense of, yeah, there is something uncanny about it. There's an uncanniness to her behavior. But yeah, that's a hero. Yay! I mean, in fairness, not that much more problematic than Dear Caleb, is she? Oh, damn it, I forgot to put down a marker. Ah, hell. Okay, 3 minutes, 54 seconds exactly. That's where we'll start from. And I'll give you a moment to catch it. 3, 2, 1, go. Intro time. I am curious to learn more about Yasha, like what exactly the deal is there. She's also looking for the artifact. She's looking for it for that guy who also wants it. I have to make an assumption that that guy is, like, not in alignment with the queen. Right? Like, he wants it for his own purposes. Ooh, good backgrounds. Good backgrounds. 3, 2, 1, pause. Remembering to add a marker this time. Yeah. Maybe a little too clean, but I like that. I like the way that those buildings are laid out. I like the messiness of it, right? It's not like all the buildings are perfectly aligned, like around a circle, right? They're not like, they're just sort of vaguely pointed towards it and sort of squeezed a little bit awkwardly in between each other. And like, there's a sense of like the chaos of organic city development, right? Like the way that cities used to grow around centers of commerce by just people building wherever there was room without like explicit city planning as such. That you sort of get that vibe from the way that the buildings are laid out here. I kind of appreciate that. They don't necessarily have all the personality of a building in Freeren, but they're not far off. It does feel like a bunch of buildings that were built like to suit the needs of like, oh, I only really have like this tiny sliver of land to build on, so let's just build a really narrow fucking building. I've seen that shit in European towns. In places where it's like just a building that looks really kind of weird and wonky because it was built like, oh, there's this much space available to build on. Okay, fuck it, just put a building up. Because there's no zoning laws. What a lovely background. A little bit sliding PNG. I do appreciate the dude with the flower on his head. A little bit sliding PNG happening here, right? Like where we have like these very, 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 very basic walk cycles, which in Caleb's case, literally nothing, right? Literally the only thing that's happening with Caleb is that he's gently bouncing up and down and like looks over. But there's no animation anywhere. This is classic limit. This is a Scooby-Doo. Like, this is fully a Scooby-Doo, right? You know when the Scooby-Doo characters are walking somewhere and it like they're just repeating a walk cycle and they all sort of walk in a perfect line behind each other? That's basically what's happening here. Usually they would, like, Hanna-Barbera would do it by just moving the background behind the characters. Here, they're just sort of statically walking. But this is very, very Scooby-Doo. This is very, like, we're all walking in a line. We're all animated on the same timings. We're all doing minimal limited animation to show that we're moving. It's not necessarily a criticism. Like, it's a fine way to do it. It just reminds me so much of Scooby-Doo cartoons. I will say, if they give me a Scooby-Doo chase sequence at any point in one of these episodes, show of the year, instantly. Let's see. I need to remember my hotkeys there. 3, 2, 1, go. Three, 2, 1, pause. Gee, I wonder why she picked that. I wonder why that one was the one that she, like, I wonder why that was the one that she picked. I can't imagine. I can't imagine why that was the one that she picked. There must be some reason, but it just isn't coming to me. They actually released that book. Yeah, good. Excellent. Good. They should. Fucking, honestly, more things should just have. This is one of my shifting gears completely. One of my long-standing complaints about Warhammer 40k is that they are ignoring the romantasy market for that universe. Like, I don't understand how 40k doesn't have toxic dark elf romance books. Like fucking BDSM torture plot things, but the one like Imperial Guard girl who could change him. Like that should be like the main thing that they market themselves on, frankly. But no, like 487 volumes of the Horus Heresy. I know, like, I think they've started. It does now. They have. I think they've started poking into that market. Like like with a couple of things that have like romance subplots, but like I mean actually like literally just fucking actual romantasy shit. Like act like really dive into the genre, not just a romance subplot in an otherwise normal 40K novel, but like this is a book about specifically 40K romance. Like it's such a powerful market. They could get so many more people into 40K. It boggles the mind that they'd leave that money on the table, but you know. Still, yeah. Who does he look like? Who does he remind us of at all? Like I don't know. I can't imagine what Jester was drawn to it. That's very funny. Can I get Jester out of the way for a sec so I can see Zemnian Knights? I like looking at books and book covers and the backgrounds of things. Oh, you probably shouldn't. Courting the Cree. You probably shouldn't put that word on the cover of a novel, should you? That feels like maybe that's a word you shouldn't use like that. But that's the thing about romantasy. It's often also problematic. I do like looking at books in backgrounds, though, because, like, books are a damned troublesome thing to draw as, like, a background element. Because, like, on the one hand, yes, you could design completely custom covers for every single book in the background, but that's 500 million years of work for a shot that's only going to be shown, like, one time. But the alternative is you sometimes end up with things was like, oh, this one book has a cover, and then everything else is just blank, right? Like because you couldn't have them fucking design custom cover illustrations for every single fucking book. But it's one of those things where you can see like the budgetary consideration being made, right? Like that. Okay, we only have so much time to spend on this one background, this one asset. We're going to spend it there. And that's why I like it. Like, I like seeing the calculations. I like seeing the places where, like, you can see that the production has to make some choices. But it's not like they just made boring, generic copy-paste books in the background. Like, the books have... You can see the little gaps between the pages. Like, one of them has the little bookmark string. So they have, like, an individuality to them that prevents them from just feeling like a copy-pasted, traced 3D asset that was painted over or whatever. Which, like, they may very well have done. Like, when they were constructing the scene for the background artist, they may very well have constructed it with 3D assets. But it does have that sense of presence to it, that they are, like, actual objects in the world. Let's see. Next. 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, cool. Wizard War! This setting about to have a long game of Magic the Gathering. Trent with his really annoying control deck. Yeah, you don't get to play the game. Here's a counterspell. Und ein Counterspell. Und ein Counterspell as well. Huh. Astral projection? Ah, yes, I see. Ooh, hang on. 3, 2, 1. Pause. There's going to be some flashing here. I want to see these flash frames. Yeah, so like we open with like a outline glow and then forward flashing. You can see them covering over the walls there, and then very interesting to like to have the bright flash and then instantly just snap back, right? No afterglow or anything, just like this zoosh, like this instant flash that immediately vanishes with no, like, because you have the build-up, right? Like, you have the slow build-up of the flash, but then poof, just gone. One frame of stillness and then yoosh. That's a cool way to do it. And then a bunch of digital rippling effects to sort of convey the, I guess, gravitational waves. Very subtle, by the way, Trent. I'm sure no one noticed that. Yes, like, no one else in the palace is like, it's like, whole palace is shaking. It's like, Trent, what the hell are you doing? Oh yeah, no, I was having sex with my boyfriend. Yeah, we go very hard. Yeah, yeah, plop plop. You know, it shakes the whole castle. Subtle, like real subtle shit, Trent. No one's gonna know you're doing anything in there. And he's also fine, by the way. He's fine. He can handle it. He's not messing with powers that are beyond his full comprehension or which are eventually going to come back to bite him or cost him something in the attempt. He's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm very young. I'm not very old. I can take care of myself, and I go to the gym every day, yeah. Essek. Poor little baby boy Essek. You're in the shit now, ain't you, boy? I mean, given that you're alone with him, at some point it must be possible to just sink a dagger into his gut, if you have the guts for it. Oh, that's bloodstains. Makes sense that they would be in one of his laboratories, but still. 3, 2, 1, go. All of the Infinity Stones. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, but seriously, right now, a dagger in his back, it would have been so easy. He's fixated. Like, you could... Please tell me you're not still buying this, Essek. Don't fucking buy that from him, you dipsh... Poor Essek. Like, honestly, like, not that I have that much sympathy for him, but like, what a dumb kid. What a mama's boy. I do love me a good I know a guy plot. Ooh, character design. Ooh, hello. That's a big hammer. Three, two, one. Pause. Character design. We love to see it. Classic big guy, little guy, right? Like classic duo there, little dude with a knife, big guy next to him. Classic double act, good design contrast. And again, good use of design elements to tell the story of like, these are fucking rough types that you don't want to mess with. They have injuries. Like, these are people who get in fights. These are people who, like, who are likely to cause damage and take damage. It's a little thing, right? Like, you don't have to fuck them up completely, but just having a little bit of like the sign of the kind of life that they lead on them, it does a lot to establish them, right? Like, same with the dwarf behind the bar. I assume dwarf. With like this huge burn scar that's like fucked up his beard on the right side. It's not much, right? Like, but it tells you like, it tells you that these people lead lives that come with consequences. His whole fucking right side is fucked up. Lead lives that come with consequences, right? Like, they lead lives that have intersected with violence. And then there's this lady who's like just really well dressed, honestly, like with a fucking, like the jacket and the shirt and like the little tie thing, and like, and that makes her interesting as well, right? Like, 'cause she's really well dressed next to everyone in the bar, and because there are choices being made with the other characters to make them look shabby and kind of like scrungly and fucked up, you know that it was a deliberate choice with her that she's not, right? Like, that she doesn't really have scars, that she's actually dressed really well, that she looks kind of refined, if not for the giant mallet sledgehammer she's wielding. And that's character design, right? Like, you establish a theme and then you deliberately introduce contrast to that theme. Now that contrast has meaning, right? Like, now it invites you to go, hang on, what's the deal with you? Why are you dressed real nice? Like, why is that your thing that you have like a nice suit on when everyone else is sort of like rough and tumble leather and linen, kind of that vibe? Right? It gives you something to think about, and that's a good way to mark a character out as distinctive and interesting. Even, like, I don't know how major this character is, how much she's going to show up, but as a background element, it just kind of makes you go, oh, hang on, like, there's a story here that exists outside of my cognition, and that makes the world feel a little bigger. That makes the characters feel a little bit more fleshed out, which is like, background characters, as we talked about, like, a lot of anime you watch, background characters will be the stock background character number 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Like the sort of repetitive, bland, undifferentiated whoever's of the background world that like are just, yeah, it's just, this is high school student number 1 and high school student number 8, and they're like, don't worry about them. All of the design tells you, who cares? Who gives a shit about them? They don't matter. They're not interesting. Don't waste your time on them. They are set dressing. They are stage, like, they're props for the stage, right? Like, they don't matter as people. When character design takes a little bit more interest, right? It's not that I'm sitting here thinking, oh shit, new main character. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, character. Like, this is someone I don't know if it's a relevant someone. I don't know if it's someone that matters, but it's someone, right? It's someone who's like clearly has got a thing going on that makes her distinct from all the other guys, right? And that invites you to imagine. It invites you to imagine like, oh shit, what else is going on in this world? Who else is here? Like, what are the circumstances that lead to that? And that's how you build out like so much of the impulse from me for fan art and fan fiction tends to come from those things when the world itself invites me to imagine what was the deal with that thing? Why was that thing the way that it was? Why was this person like, why were they like that? And it's kind of, it's a lost art, not just in anime and like cartoons or whatever, but like you watch the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, especially the first one, in contrast to the way that Marvel handles like civilians now, where Sam Raimi's Spider-Man is like a love letter to New York. It's a movie that loves the weird people who live in New York and wants to show you as many of the weird people who live in New York as possible and wants to make them part of like the texture and the backdrop of how that movie is put together. Right? There are whole montages that are just like weird New Yorkers being like characters and personalities, and it gives the movie such a sense of place. Whereas you watch the sort of more modern MCU movies, and it's like, yeah, this is America place with people in it, and there's a big explosion, people die, oh bad, like, oh sad for people, but the heroes are the thing that matters, right? The heroes are the only thing we really care about. That's what we're focusing on. That's what the movies spend their visual budget and their time getting you to care about the heroes, and that's it, right? Like, that's the main thing that we care about. And like civilians they're there to be rescued by the heroes occasionally, or to be victims, or to sort of like very occasionally have a scene where they say, I am a person and I'm feeling a way about some things that happened, but then nothing happens, right? I like when a story makes a point of trying to make the background characters be characters rather than just set dressing, is the point I'm trying to get at. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, are we gonna have a wizard war? Ha ha. I mean, we know it's not gonna stick, but you know. Ha ha. Is Essek gonna be dumb enough to break him out? Is that what's gonna happen? Again, characters. 3, 2, 1, pause. I need background characters. I need to. Same thing in like Jester's home brothel, right? Like there was time and attention paid to making the background characters like characters. It's not just, oh, here's the room of NPCs that we don't care about. It's like, oh, okay, here's some fucking dudes, here's some fucking people, here's some fucking ladies, here's some fucking folks, right? Here's a bunch of folks having their own shit going on. And it's interesting. And it's also nice that just like, I don't know what exactly the gender is, the presentation with a minotaur or whatever, but it's like, looks like there's some same-sex shit happening. Looks like people are like, it's not just, oh yes, man and woman on date number 1, but like there's some effort being put into having a world where queerness has like a presence. Like, not just, oh, we have a queer character in the show, but a presence as in, yeah, there's also gay people over there. And like, they're not relevant, but they're just like around. There's some queer folks here and there. They hang out. They are part of the texture and the the fabric of the universe. Again, low bar to clear, but that's the thing of like that's sort of the thing in a lot of like when we talk about like when Disney puts out their 486th press release saying first gay character in a Disney movie. It's like, yeah, but what if there just was like, what if there could be gay and queer protagonists, but also just like queer people were just like around, like there was just like a trans woman here and there, a trans dude hanging out, some non-binary, like just there, and they don't have to be front and center, and it doesn't have to be like the camera doesn't have to pan over to them going, hey, look, we're giving you representation. Just like present, existing. They are here as like a normal thing that's just in the world, and we don't have to make a big thing out of it. We can do that sometimes. It's good to make a big thing out of it, but also just, yeah, there's fucking queer people around. Of course there are. You think a world full of minotaurs and tieflings, there aren't gonna be a bunch of queer people hanging out? Of course there are. And I like that. I like that it's just present, right? Both in the cast and in the scene, the world. That there's just a presence of queerness, that it exists as a normal component of the world. And it's such a low fucking bar, but it's like, it's just nice to see it, man. Because that's one thing, like, I've made a comparison many times, but that's one thing you don't fucking see in Freerun. Like, I'll tell you that for free, right? You also don't see this level of body type diversity in something like Freerun. Like, that's something that this show definitely has over a bunch of the anime that I watch, is like, this some attention being paid to, hey, bodies can be different. People can be different. Sometimes there's a gay person. It happens. And I really do appreciate that. Because it makes the world feel more alive. It makes the world feel more like a place where people can exist. Because that's one of the problems that Freerun has, right? It's like, there's a whole bunch of white supremacists who find it very easy to like the show Freerun because it's a show where there's only light-skinned people in it, and they all look just kind of the same a lot of the time. Like, that's one of the things that will attract that audience, is when you present a world that is seemingly so homogenous and the characters are so undifferentiated. It's one of the things that, like, it's one of the reasons the anime community has a problem with white supremacists, is because it creates an aesthetic universe that, like, explicitly does not and cannot exclude their stupid worldviews. This show, on the other hand, has a world that's like, yeah, you kind of can't be bigoted or homophobic and be like, yeah, this world represents the kind of future that I want. Like, no, it's like, that's not really available to you in the same way here. And that's something that's like, good, it's nice to see worlds constructed that aren't amenable to white supremacy, for example. It's just nice to see. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go. Bluff check. Do we get to see more of Cree? I'd like to see more of Cree. Is there a fan art of Cree? Bluff check, bluff check, bluff check. Backstory time. I thought it was going to be forward focused, frankly, from the way the intro played it. 3, 2, 1, pause. Again, just character design. Characters that look specific and different. Is there a better... I wanted like a... Yeah. Interesting thing with Cree, because like she's a cat furry, right? Like some kind of panther. The head looks to me a little bit more like it's configured like a lion. Not that I know that much about big cat anatomy, but like the long face with like that feels more leonine than it feels like a panther. But interesting things like this, again, changing tacks completely. The new Star Fox game, right? Like a lot of people have had these very, I think, disproportional reactions to the sort of furry anatomy of those games. But one of the things that those games do with the characters, because they are more real, like because Fox is a more realistic fox now, he has a very thick neck. Like not because he actually has a thick neck, but because he's a fox. Like, and they have very thick neck fur around them. And there's something interesting being done with Cree here as well, where she has like this very thick leonine neck. And I think they're using the collar and all of this to sort of elide a little bit, hide the exact way that they're fitting this very cat-like head onto what's a very human body. Which is one of the reasons I asked if there was fan art, because I'd be genuinely interested in seeing people draw naked pictures of her, just to find out, like, how are they handling the fact that she has this very thick leonine neck, right? Like, these very, like, thick neck muscles that really sort of fill in the whole of the upper clavicle, along with the fact that she's not actually that buff. Like, it's not a buff character. She's actually kind of slender, and seems more like she's like the mage of the group, whereas the person flanking the gentleman seemed like more the warrior, more the muscle. This feels like more the mage or magical advisor, because she's actually kind of skinny. She's actually kind of slender in a lot of ways, which is another thing, like another way to represent a feline character is to make them very skinny and slender, right? Like, because cats, like, they can be muscular, but they are agile creatures. I'm curious about that. Interesting. I think they are doing, again, to call a little bit of a Hanna-Barbera thing, where we're sort of separating the head from the rest of the body, just by big fur collar, this big thing, so we don't have to really get into the specifics of how the anatomy fits together, and we can kind of give her these, maybe, anatomy things that don't 100% fit together when you look at them from every angle, but you sort of kind of go with it. Yeah, like very tall, very low shoulders. Interesting. So, it's a real polycule vibes there. So, pointed ears and pale, like, sort of bluish skin tone. That's a sea elf, right? In D&D terms, like, I think there's a specific subspecies of elves that are like, oh, it's a water genasi. Well, that would also make sense, yes. Again, scars as indication of this character is someone who gets into fights and does damage to things and gets in battle and lives a rough life. Scars. Just like, not even particular elaborate scars, just like, yeah, fucking this person has been stabbed with a knife a few times and has like been cut and had shit happen to them. Scars. I know I harp on about scars a lot when it comes to character design, but it really is one of those things of like, one of the basic things that happens to a person when they fight all the time is that like they get punched in the face and they get their skin torn up and shit happens, and then the body tries to fix itself. So you're going to have a nose that's crooked. You're going to have an eyebrow that's cut. You're going to have a lip that's a bit fucked up. You're going to have scars. You're going to have like scar tissue. You're going to have bruises. You're going to have shit. Like, shit is supposed to happen to your body when you leave these lives. And I'm so tired of warrior characters like, yeah, this is the mighty powerful warrior of the guy who, like, he's a gladiator his whole life. He's like fought 5,000 people. He's got endless battle from dawn till dusk. And it's like, you look at him, it's just some fucking bodybuilder motherfucker who's oiled up to shit. Not a scrap of armor, and not a cut or a scratch or any fucking thing anywhere on their body because and every single time, oh, it's because he's so good no one has ever hit him. Well, then I don't care. Then why should I give, if he's so good that he's never taken damage, he's never been wounded, he's never been hurt, it's like it's just because that's how we show he's so good, then I don't care about him getting into a fight if he's just gonna win. What's the stakes then? Why should I give a oh, he's gotten into a fight with a strong guy. Yeah, but he's so good that no one ever, so he's just gonna win then. Why do I care? I care about a character who's vulnerable, who, like, where getting into a fight is in some way the character making a decision, like a decision that has consequences, right? Like a decision that could go wrong for them. That's what scars tell you, is that these are characters who make decisions to take active charge of their lives, and sometimes that comes with consequences, and consequences are what makes a story interesting. Just shit happening, who cares? Consequences are interesting. And that's something you'll see this in like anything that's like power fantasy slop, right? Anything where the main thing that the story is trying to deliver to the audience is a power fantasy, right? And again, a lot of isekai fall into this particular trope, like also a lot of harem anime, like lots of things fall into these tropes. But one of the things you get with stories that are just power fantasies and that don't really have anything useful, interesting to say, is they are terrified of consequences, right? Like they will never enforce a consequence on the characters, on the audience, on the world, right? Like that's the signifier. That's the thing to look for, is will the story allow the characters to experience actual consequences, and are those consequences, and this is the other thing, are those consequences a natural result of their actions? Not just, oh, some shit happens to them, but like, did this happen to them because, right? Is there a because? Because you went on this adventure, because you made the decision to spare this character, because you like decided to go against this guy, is there a consequence for that? Because in a lot of power fantasy stuff, when the hero stands up to the evil rapist and saves the big titty anime girl who immediately wants to jump on his dick, there's no consequences. He just defeats the evil rapist guy, so the anime girl will throw herself at his dick, and then there's no consequences because the hero is so powerful and so strong, and the bad guy can't do anything about it because the hero is just kind of, and that's garbage, right? And that's all of that philosophically filters down into why I fixate a lot on, does a character whose whole thing is that they are a warrior who gets into fight have scars? Is because if they don't have any scars, then they have not experienced any consequences for their choices, and then it's boring. Then I don't care. Anyway. 3, 2, 1, go. I knew it. I knew they were going to do it. I knew they were going to fucking do it. And honestly, my respect to the gentleman. Ooh, fancy. Yeah. Well, we're going to be going over those tapestries. It's true. Yeah, extra bonus. Yeah, listen to the scary voice in your head. Ford, nothing bad could happen. 3, 2, 1, pause. Another thing, like, yes, the joke with the book and like that he's interested in porn is like, that's funny. But that's the other thing. I do also like that sex, sexuality, eroticism are just like present, right? Not just in terms of like queerness and shit, but also just that, yeah, like some of the characters like fucking. And it's just a thing. Like, it's just a thing that's like, yeah. And some of the characters like porn. And there is like there's sex work in the world, and Molly Mock is like very like, yeah, no, sometimes you pay for sex because sex is nice and it's a service that you can purchase. I like that it's just there. Again, this is about building out the world, and that's another thing that you'll often not see in a lot of fantasy worlds is like fantasy worlds will spend 400 pages of the book building out a pantheon and like the trade history and all of the political history of like 5,000 kingdoms, but they won't spend 2 minutes talking about how people fuck in this country, as though a sexual culture isn't an incredibly important part of a culture. Like, how does the culture conceptualize romance? How does it conceptualize sex, intimacy? Like what does it mean to be family? Is it matrilineal, patrilineal? Like, all these dynamics and shit are really important for how a society is put together. How the different genders relate to one another tends to be mediated through sexual politics. Like, it's not just horny shit. It's not just like libidinal satisfaction. This is like, these are the basic facts of life. And again, it's just nice that, like, yeah, this show makes a point out of, yeah, there's sex workers here, and there's people who fuck, and it's a thing. It's not something we're focusing on. It's not being spotlighted as like, oh, we're showing you some naughty stuff. Yeah, like they're not doing it like in that immature way, where it's like, oh, here comes the naughty bits. Like, it's just like, yeah, there was some titties in a couple of the episodes that were just like there, and the camera wasn't like focused in on. It wasn't like panty shots in anime, right? Like, one of the things that make panty shots in anime so annoying is they're so pathetic because it's all about like, oh, accidentally the wind lifted the skirt of this prepubescent girl so you could see her underwear. Oh no, like that disavowal, as though it's not like, no, like fucking, I like the honesty that is here. That is more mature. That is much more adult than, like, it's more mature and adult than pornography, frankly, because it's just like, yeah, sex is normal, it exists, some people relate to it different ways. What of it, right? This gentleman guy, he likes romantasy porn. He likes some fucking good, steamy, toasty orc fucking in a book, and it's one of his interests, and it's just a thing, right? It's not a joke. Like, the show doesn't go, oh, that's weird and he's a weirdo for doing it. It's just like, oh, those are the sorts of things. It's not wine, it's not gold. It's like he likes well-written erotica. And there's no, it feels non-judgmental, I guess is what I'm getting at, right? Which is nice and refreshing, especially in this age of rising puritanism, to just have sexuality be like a neutral thing that exists in the world as a normal part of how they go about their lives. I'm very comfortable being aro ace, but it's still interesting to learn about. Yeah, I mean, I'm aromantic and I love romance fiction because it's an insight into a world that I don't occupy, right? Like, I don't know what the fuck it's like to be in love with someone. You people all act really weird when it happens to you. You get all moon-eyed and doughy, and you can't hold a fucking conversation. What the fuck's going on there? Well, romance literature is a good way to get some insight into what the fuck is going on with people. Why are you weird like that? Well, there's novels about it you can read. Be nice to have some novels about the aromantic experience, but, you know, maybe I'll have to write my own someday. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go. He's so excited about getting the homework right. erase the blackboard before you leave, Essex. Jesus. Oh, she's protecting the boyfriend. For now. It's not the most unreasonable request. Just like you want to be sure that you can get it back afterwards, maybe? Like, ugh. Ooh, good crosscut. Oh shit, I forgot. 3, 2, 1, pause. I forgot. I wanted to look at the explanation tapestries. I completely had sweated that out of my head. What a nice way to do it. Like the little thing with like the curtains parting, like as a stage play and the thing fading in. It's a nice way to do it. And again, like some lovely illustration work on these tapestries too. A lot of detail went into them. You can see how like the golden path there sort of guides your eye as the camera pans across. Very fancy. That's a really nice illustration. Hey, that big scary dragon on the illustration there, that's not like, it's not like it's there, right, in the mines guarding it. It's like, this isn't the foreshadowing. This is just like a random dragon that they drew on it for no reason. It wouldn't be in there guarding things from people. That would never happen. Yeah, like lovely angular. Like the art style of it is really nice. Like this very angular, very geometric. But then the geometry of it, right? Like this perfect straight-lined geometry of it is then contrasted against like the background textures, which are like these crumbly rock caves and things like that. That's a really nice set of illustrations to do it with. If you're gonna do exposition, this is like a very visually engaging way to do it. Because it's also not just that we show the illustrations on screens. Like we have these dynamic dissolves and then tracking shots that sort of support the story of what the character is saying. That's a good way to do it. Like it's similar to the stuff that I have to do when I edit a video essay, right? It's like you have to have some B-roll footage that like supports the thrust of the argument that you're making. Mine usually don't look quite that nice, but you know. Anyway, Trent is having a bit of a time by the looks of it, which, maybe can't put that on screen on YouTube. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, it's because torture doesn't work. Torture doesn't work, by the way. It doesn't work. Hey. Okay, we're not dwelling too long on the whole sneaking process, which is good. Like if this, like, because I know like doing this for a TTRP setting, it'll take you 5 sessions for them to go up to the rear entrance and get in. We're skipping over many hours of gameplay here. Well, no, Mercer is a good DM. I'm sure he can move it along faster than that, but still. Another little thing, the two minecart workers, they're very different character designs, again. At least it was mud this time. Hey, more dragons in the iconography. I'm sure that's fine. It's not like D&D is a game that's very heavily based around combat. Don't say that! Yeah, Molly. Good instincts. Yeah. Uh, if you suspect that, don't say it. It'd be very funny if everyone else had triggered all the traps already and there's none left. Doubt it, but you know. Because you do gotta shoot the monk sometimes. Just look out for the animation cells where it's clearly like painted on a different layer, which means, yeah, like that one. Like it was clearly painted on a different layer, so you have to. Oh dear. Are they still. How much ammunition would they have? A lot, I guess. See, this is why you need an animation expert on any dungeon raiding team, because they're the ones who know how to like look for different animation cells. Yeah, you know, RIP to them, but if I had been there, it would have been different. Ah, goblin butt. Yeah, no shit, Caleb, given what you've just told her. I'm sorry, you don't get too judgmental about this, Widowgast! Yeah, gee, I wonder about that. Oh, constellations. A light puzzle. Again, that is 80 to 90 hours of actual in-game playtime. Someone is projecting a little, Caleb. Three, two, one. Pause. It really is. That's good characterization for Caleb, though. He's projecting so hard. Like, they're both projecting on each other, by the way. But, like, Caleb's like, yeah, she doesn't care about it. She doesn't think. Like, Caleb, that's what you think of yourself. Like, that is your shame. That is your shame talking, dude. Because that's what you were like when you were in the false truckers. Like, you prioritized yourself, and it cost you your family. You're projecting your shame. You see something you hate in yourself in someone else. That's the issue. It's like... Beau just cannot handle suspicion, right? Like, cannot handle being told, like, you might not be the good guy. Right? Like, and it's like, there's truth there. Like, Beau still holds on to this, I'm better than you, right? Beau still has this thing up because I have to be better than you, because if I'm not better than you, then my dad was right, right? Like, then my teachers were right, then everyone's right to say that. Like, there is still that egotistical need, right? So it's a good way to have these character archetypes butt heads against each other. Like, yeah, they would rub up against each other like that, because Beau reminds Caleb of a younger him, right? Like, young, idealistic, committed to a cause, kind of intolerant about it, right? Like blinded, like, Caleb sees himself and he hates it. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like seeing something who reminds him of what he used to be like, right? And Beau is like, it's not super fun seeing someone like Caleb either, who's like who was evil, right? And now is pretending to be a good guy. Well, you can't fucking just be a bad guy and then pretend to be a good guy. That's not right. That's not okay, right? Like, surely there must still be evil in you because of like, you know. And it's the pathologies rubbing up against each other in a delicious way. I'm curious about Ford as a character, though. He's a little bit all over the place, I feel like. Because, like, as he's been characterized so far, he's like this very insecure fellow who's trying his best to sort of live up to be a brave man the way that he was. But he has these little outbursts of aggression, especially with Knot, where it feels like he sort of rushes for physical confrontation in an interesting way, which, like, would make sense as overcompensation, right? Like, that he's trying to be the brave captain of the sea, and so, like, his response to affront should be to, like, be confrontational. And, like, yeah, I guess it's just goblin racism. Like, I guess that's just the thing that it is. Because it is weird, disproportional behavior that's, like, out of step with the rest of his character in a lot of places. Not that it's unrealistic, right? Like, it's that's this fucking racism will do that to you. Racism makes you a dumb fucking moron. That's kind of what it's for. And it makes you grasp for, like, power and violence in situations that don't require either. Because it is this logic of hierarchy and domination, which is interesting. I wish we had a bit more insight into him, though. Like, Ford is still kind of a cipher as a character. He has his motivation. I want to see him go through some more struggles with it. Like, again, why I was kind of excited that the intro seemed to indicate that this episode is going to dive a little bit more into his character specifically. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go. Did you pay attention in astronomy, Beau? The Dragon Constellation! so they're doing 3D for those rotating objects. That makes sense. If there isn't a dragon at some point at the end of this, I'm going to be disappointed. Like, they gotta have to fight a dragon, right? Like, surely. Dragon. Very well composited 3D for those rotating pots. It's barely noticeable. Swashbuckler rogue. I like him. Is it Lou Wilson? It was Lou. I thought he sounded familiar. She's fine. She's fine. Don't worry about it. She's fine. Someone else is here. Oh, Essek is gonna be desperate enough to break him out, isn't he? Oh my god, you stupid twink! Ooh, hang on. 3, 2, 1, pause. I know a room full of magical armor that comes to life when I see one. Ooh. It's bloodstains. This is a lovely background illustration. This is really nice. Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to look at the background illustration here because it's really good. Three, 2, 1, go. That pirate guy must have been proper rich if he had the money for all that. If you were a slightly higher level, you'd have a flying spell. Oh! Oh, you don't want to be told that. You don't want to hear that from the abyss. Oh, that's not good. That's probably bad. Yes. Yes, kill him. Just kill him. Just kill him. Don't interrogate him. Just kill him. Just kill him. Just kill him. You could just kill him. Oh boy, Trent would have been very happy in 1940s Germany. He really is, like, it's not in the sense he's like necessarily explicitly ideologically fascist, but that's his mindset. 3, 2, 1, pause. It really, like, the thing he's expressing there, who cares who starts the war so long as we win, right? That is like that is a viewpoint in which the only thing that matters is power. Right? And that is Trent's position, right? Like that's his personality. It's like the thing that matters is power. The thing that matters is they have the power to do something. And if I have the power to do it, then I should have the will to carry it through, right? Like it is triumph of the will shit. Like it is fully on some, not that he's necessarily like ideologically a Nazi in that sense, but he's of that ilk. He's like he has a mindset that is from that same philosophy. The fuck is the name of that? It's very Hans Schmidt in that sense. It really is like, and the thing about it is like you'll hear that rhetoric, right? You'll hear rhetoric that comes from that same place from people now, right? That who cares? Like so long as we win, right? Like so long as we have the power at the end of it, so long as we have the resources, so long as we come out on top, then there is no ethics, there is no morality, there is no consequences, there's no nothing. So long as we come out on top, so long as we have the greater advantage at the end of it, then everything is worth it, right? And you'll hear this from like Silicon Valley folks will espouse bullshit that comes from that same philosophy, right? Like that the only thing that matters is if at the outcome we have more. And it's such a horrifying way to think. Yeah, like really not a turtle. That's a good quote to pull. The strong do what they will and the weak suffer what they must. Because that's from ancient Greece. I think, is it the Athene? It's the Melian dialogue, I think it's called. Or maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe that one's the one about slaves. There's a bunch of them. But the strong do what they will and the weak suffer what they must. That is like, that is at the core of far-right conservatism. In many places. Like, it's all about power. It's all about hierarchy. It's all about who has more strength, who has more resources, who has more might, who has the ability to put someone below them so they can be stepped on, right? Who can I tread down into a lower position of the hierarchy? And the more people I can tread down below me, the more people I can step on to raise myself up, the more righteous I am, and therefore the more good I am, right? Like where morality is constructed entirely around a philosophy of the winners, right? Whoever wins defines what right is, right? It's just like, and it's like war. It doesn't even, and I'm not sparing the king from any of this, by the way, because he's instantly persuaded by it because he is the same way. He thinks the same way. Like, the only thing holding him off from doing the war, clearly, was the idea that maybe he would lose something at the end of it. And the moment he's like, oh, we have a chance of winning? Oh, okay, cool. Wartime it is then, right? That immediately he's on board with it because, like, cool, war, more stuff for me. We could end up with more things at the end. But the thing about war is, like, the first people to die in war are the poor and the marginalized. They are number one. First of all, they're going to be number one sent to the front lines. And second of all, when any system is stressed, when any system comes under pressure, whatever the nature of that pressure is, they are the people who get discarded first, especially in a philosophy wherein the thing that matters is victory, right? Like the thing that matters is power. The thing that matters is hierarchy. If you're at the bottom of the hierarchy, well, then you're expendable. Then you can just go, right? Like then if you are dead, but a bunch of the good people of the world, like a bunch of the smart people, a bunch of the true visionaries, a bunch of the leaders, if they all win by sacrificing you, well, they made a sound investment. That's this your death was a sound investment for them to increase their shareholder value or fucking whatever. Like it's I really Trent is a great villain. I really hate him. Because it's like he's cartoonishly evil, yes, but he's cartoonishly evil in a way that's like, no, yeah, I can look out at world politics and see a couple of people who are like not that far off, right? Like he's a cartoon villain, but he's a cartoon villain who's not that fucking outrageous. And it is that hierarchy thing, right? Like, we know that Trent is gonna kill the king because we saw that, right? Like, we saw that vision. And also, it's like, he's the scheming vizier. Of course he's gonna kill the king. Like, nothing else is gonna happen. But the reason he's gonna do that is because at some point he's gonna have enough power that he feels like, oh, I could do this and I could gain more from it, and I'm not gonna risk, like, now I have the power and I can go to war without suffering the consequences. I'll just do it. He's going to apply exactly the same logic that he applied to the war, right? Like, why not do the war? Like, who cares who started the war? Let's do the war if we can win by it. He's going to apply that exact same logic back to the king. Why wouldn't I backstab the king? Why wouldn't I kill the king if I could win by it? If I could, if I have confidence that I'm powerful enough to win, why wouldn't I do it? Right? It's the same logic. It's exactly the same consideration he has. He just applies it to the king. And the king, moron that he is, doesn't see that this exact string of logic will come back to bite him, will come back to catch him, because at some point, someone will, like, if you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. This is what it means. There will always be a boot to step on you. Someone will find a way to put it on. And you will be under it at some point, because the only thing that matters to these people is hierarchy. The only thing that matters to these people is climbing the hierarchy. The only thing that matters to these people is power. And I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them so much. They are the worst people in all of history. And Trent is a good representation of it. God damn. Motherfucker. Just kill him. Just kill him. You had him right there. You could just, like, a knife in the throat and just kill him. Just get rid of him. Jesus Christ. Anyway. 3, 2, 1, go. Ah, trust exercises. Slipping back into the Volstaka a little bit there, aren't we? Yeah, Ford, follow the mysterious voice in your head. Nothing bad could happen. This is fine. Don't talk to anyone. Athletics check. Dicks on the wall. Okay, well, at least Ford is going to have something else to consume than his friends, so that's good. Oh, good. You do have teleportation spells. Like, you can Misty Step underwater, I think. Oh, wait, unless it has a somatic component, in which case you can't spellcast when you're underwater unless you have, like, water breathing. Well, there's the water breathing. Leap of faith. Trust exercise. I get it. Well, no, but she will be. I'm sure. Ooh. Gee, I wonder if it's that one. I wonder if it's trapped. Yeah. Da 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 da. Ooh, they're 3D animated. La da 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 da. And their movement is based on sound. Interesting. Or perception. Hang on. 3, 2, 1, pause. Okay, so how are they doing it? Is it just... Yeah, so these are 3D models. But damn, they went hard on the painting of them. One of the things I wonder about is the lighting here. That's one of the things that tends to give 3D models away a lot of the time is the lighting, because the lighting interacts with the 3D model in the physics engine generated, like whatever the animation engine generates for the light and the reflections and all of that. That tends to be how they show up, and that's something that can be like a tell with 3D models. I wonder the extent to which, because they clearly done a lot of texture painting, I wonder the extent to which they have hand-baked or painted the lighting onto the models here rather than rendering it as light. Yeah, I think they have at least partly done a lot of hand baking the lighting onto the models, and maybe they like fade between different textures or something when they need different lighting conditions, because it's really well composited. And obviously they're doing the animating them on 3s by the looks of it, in fact. Yeah, they're animated on 3s to give them that sort of stiff stop-motion vibe. And that also helps. And then just like a lot of very, very good texture work. And it really does look like they hand-baked the lighting onto them. So, like, they'll swap models between shots to get different bespoke lighting on them, I think. that has a no matter how they did it, that must have been a hell of a planning process at the studio to figure out the asset pipelines for the shots that they'd need. And like aligning that shit, because like lighting is so tough because in 2D animation, right, lighting isn't realistic. It's not ray traced, right? Like no one fucking ray traces the. Well, I'm sure some Go hands has probably tried it, but lighting is not ray traced. It's not generated by physics. It's an artistic thing. Like you paint the light wherever the fuck you want it, right? Like you can highlight or like create as deep shadows or as bright highlights as you want. It's just like you don't have to adhere to physics. Same is obviously true of 3D animation. You manipulate the lighting extremely in that, but they're done with different pipelines. They're done through different means, and normally you wouldn't hard bake the lighting onto the texture of a 3D model that's supposed to move through space. It looks to me like that's what they did here, is they hand painted a bunch of the lighting on them, because that requires you, every time there's a change in lighting, every time there's a change in angle and circumstances, like at some point you have to create a whole new set of textures with new lighting on them to reflect. So there has to be like a balance and mixture between painted lighting and like engine generated lighting to make this work. And like I would be fascinated, because like you can see it here, right? Like, here you can see that they become a little bit plastic, right? Here they sort of lose a little bit of that sense where like they become a little obvious as 3D models relative to everything else because they're so much more voluminous, right? And that's partly due to the lighting. The lighting gives them that much more volume than the flat characters. It's still very impressively done. But like, goddamn. Even if only for a few shots, that's really fucking impressive. Transformers, more than meets the eye. Okay, I went a little bit ahead there, so let me just go back to where we were. 3, 2, 1, go. How did they not see? Okay. That's critical perception failures from those soldiers. Ah, I see. Yeah, no, yeah, that, yeah. I mean, good on Molly for trying to warn them. Trust exercises. And Ford coming back like that one gif from Community. It's like, everything was fine when I left. What the hell? Time to be brave, Ford. Time to be brave. There will be no negative consequences. Eat the orb. Yeah. Overwrought. Captain Death Flags. It's just the episode of Death Flags, isn't it? Essek, get him out of here. Oh, good boy, Essek. You'll need allies for whatever the fuck you're gonna try and do. So, gravity manipulation. Another thing that makes Trent good as a villain is also that he's like, again, we talked about consequences, right? Like, we talked about being willing to suffer the consequences of your actions. He is, right? Like, Trent does go out and, like, tear his own body apart for power, right? It's not like he's, like, a sort of bloodless villain sort of effort. Like, he's not fucking sitting on his throne effortlessly directing things. Like, it's like, motherfucker puts some shit on the line. He gets his ass tortured to piss and back. And it makes Trent compelling as a villain, also, right? Like that he's willing to suffer for it, right? It's not just smug puppet master villain making other people do the hard work. Ooh, good stroke. Big pile of money. I mean, it's a good apology. No, not. Why would you say that? And the vultures, of course, the vultures, because hey, yeesh. He's a good villain, Trent. Like, I do like that he's putting it on the line for it. Like, again, because it makes his actions interesting, right? It makes his drive interesting. It's one of the things like Breaking Bad, right? Like, one of the things that made Walter White so compelling as a villainous character in Breaking Bad is that he, like, puts shit on the line, right? And suffers for it. Consequences. I do still want Trent dead, though, which presumably by the end of the campaign, not the season, but the campaign, one hopes is going to happen. I am also wondering about the valence of those souls. Like, my assumption is the souls power the damn thing. So if you want to use the thing to, blow up a small town or whatever, it'll cost you souls that are being consumed in the process. Like, it's a battery, essentially. A battery that stores and dispenses souls, or else consumes them for power. And it is a thing with Ford in the relationship to his patron. There is that ambiguity about, like, the extent to which Ford is being mind-controlled versus what it is speaking to in him. Because it certainly feels like I yelled at him for, like, being uokota, otawa, if the apostrophe is meant to indicate a glottal stop, ukotoa. It is that thing of, like, the classic warlock thing, right? As you get the promise of power, but it comes at a price, right? What does Ford want power for? Well, he wants to be the man that the captain once said that he could be, right? Like, he wants to be brave, he wants to be a hero. So there's the promise of the power to do that in there, which would be the lever that Ukotoa would use to, push him towards certain behaviors and actions. Again, I still kind of want a Ford-focused episode where he gets to characterize a little bit more. We get a greater sense of where he articulates his feelings a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more backstory, but I don't know if that was ever in the campaign, so, who knows. For the moment, he's sort of a passive receptacle, right? Like, he remains a passive receptacle mostly of commands from his patron, and then the needs and circumstances of his party. I do like the play that he makes, right? That about realizing that it's about noises, and uses that to create enough chaos to get the party out. That's a smart play. Especially given, like, he's able to do it because he can make loud noises, and he has the Misty Step, whatever it is, to not get crushed. Man, those statues are still impressive, though. That must have been a hell of a thing in the production process. Astrid and Aedwulf are interesting also. Like, in the way, like, how do they relate to their cult status, right? Like, they are cultists, right? They are cultists in service of a cult leader, essentially, as we talked about. And for Caleb, Bran, the fact that he had to pay with his family's lives, that he had to kill his cat, right? Like, that was enough to break him out of it and make him go, I have to leave, I have to get away from this. It makes me wonder what the price was that the two of them paid. Like, how much did they have to pay for this? How much has it cost them? And how deep are they in the necessity of it? Of the two of them, Astrid is the one who seems still resistant to mindless servitude. She still wants to protect or get Caleb back, right? Like, she still has that little bit of attachment outside of the cult, admittedly to a former cult member. And, like, I wonder the extent to which, because the more you give up, right? Like, the more you sacrifice, the more you lose to the cult, the deeper your commitment becomes, right? Because, well, it's not just sunk cost fallacy, but, like, sacrifices are also a form of commitment, right? Like, those sacrifices have to be worth it somehow, right? It has to be right because I've given up so much for it. So it fucking has to be. I have to make it right somehow. I have to make it worth it somehow, right? Caleb had to sacrifice everything, right? Like, all he ever knew, his family. What did the two of them pay? And how are they are able to hold the cognitive dissonance in a way that Caleb wasn't, right? Like, Caleb could not handle the cognitive dissonance between being a righteous servant of the Empire versus I fucking murdered a cat because someone told me to. What the fuck is wrong with me? The two of them, at least outwardly, are able to hold that cognitive dissonance between the immoral costs that they must have paid versus, you know, the cruelty of the things that they must do. And I wonder why. I wonder if we're going to get more insight into the two of them. They seem like rather important to Caleb, so surely, but there's only one or two ways that it's going to end, right? Like, it's like there's only really one of two ways that it can go. And none of them are necessarily happy, right? Like, it's either that Caleb somehow is able to snap them out of it and make them turn on Trent. At betrayal, I don't feel confident that they would survive, or else he can't, and then, you know, circumstances are going to make it so that there is no other way out except someone has to go, right? Because that is another sacrifice that the two of them are willing to make for the cult of what they're in. Like, if you've already murdered your family, well, murdering your best friend, murdering your lover, you know, it's not that much of a step up. Which is also, again, with cult recruitment, it's like, you're not going to get asked to kill your family right away. Like, you're going to get asked to maybe skip someone's birthday. That's going to be the first thing. Skip the birthday in order to go fundraising for the cult. Or, you know, give up this, like, maybe, like, donate your car to the cult because they need a car to get around with, and you have a car. Wouldn't that be a nice thing to do for your fellow members of the... Like, that's how it starts, right? Like, it's these slow escalating demands that eventually come to a head where you have to make a really big sacrifice, and once you're on the other side of that, it's like, yeah. Lovely background illustrations. I know I say that a lot, but they really are good. Let's go through the credits as usual. They really are good, those backgrounds. They really are. I would love to see concept and development sketches from the production of this show. Like, the world building. Because, like, presumably a whole bunch of the character design and, like, the world building and shit, that must have been done during the campaign. Like, that must have been Mercer and his collaborators at Critical Role who were doing a lot of that. But they wouldn't have done this much visual development on it. Like, there must have been, like, settings, locations, aesthetics, and things that they would have had to develop specifically for the show. I would love to see the development sketches for some of the things here. Because, like, there's a lot of Germany in here, obviously, right? Like, we're doing very, very sort of, like, fantasy imperial Germany. Very obviously so. Like, very sort of northern and central Europe coded with the fuck are they called? Someone told me what they're called, Bindingswerkshuse. But this specific type of construction, like the specific sort of the pointed spires and shit, on the battlements and the castles and things like that. And then, by contrast, the sort of almost the much more sort of like distant fantasy themed realm of the other empire, the one that where the fucking the relic was from, whatever they're called. Like, having this very distinct opposite style where, like, the Empire tends to be very red, it tends to be very warm, it tends to be very a lot of these colors, and the Kryn Empire, on the other hand, is, like, very blue, it's very cold, it's very, like it's a lot of grays and shit. It's like, there's a lot of visual development that must have gone into making this show that I, like, if there's an art book, I'd be interested. I'd be interested to buy, like, a concept art book for the show. Oh, Felicia Day was there as Cree. That was Felicia Day? I didn't even recognize her voice at all. And it was Nathan Fillion, yeah. Zara Fassal. I don't think I... Did I Google you already? Let's see what you have on IMDb. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Talia al Ghul in Batman Death in the Family. Cool. Let's see. Avowed. Oh, yeah, that's a long credits list. Goes back to 2009. Oh my god, it's Kale in League of Legends. Holy shit. It's fucking Kale. It comes back to haunt me, that game. Everywhere I go, I find it. Uncharted 4, Titanfall 2, some secondary voices, Snack World, Fallout 76, Voltron, Apex Legends, Trolls, Arknights as Kestrel, Borderlands 3, Rage 2, Destiny 2, Indivisible. Oh, cool. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, BoJack Horseman on one episode as Demi Aplenty and Ilana. Shenmue 3. That's a hell of a credit to have. Legends of Runeterra, repeating the voice of Kale, also as Talia. Interesting. Did a voice on Where is Wally, which I didn't know that was a TV show. Mara on She-Ra and the Princess of Power. How to Get Away with Murder for a few episodes. Marvel's Avengers as Jane Foster in the DLC. Showed up on a show called Vampirina, which looks like a children's show of some kind. Big Hero 6, the series, has several voices. Psychonauts 2, Shin Megami Tensei 5 as Cleopatra. Genlock, oh my god, really? Halo Infinite. Blade Runner Black Lotus, cool. Catwoman Hunted, didn't even know about that one. Destiny 2 as the female player guardian. The Madagascar TV series, a few voices there. Young Justice, a lot of episodes on Young Justice as Cassandra Savage, Violet Harper and Halo. Amphibia as Yunnan. Guardian as the Galaxies TV short, I think. Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. Craig of the Creek. More Beavis and Butthead. Huh. Nickelodeon Star Trek Prodigy Supernova. I don't know what that is, but it seems to be a video game. Okay. Gotham Knights, Call of Duty again, Elf Quest. Really? Okay. And Star Trek Prodigy. Dragon Age Absolution as Tasha. Oh, cool. More Destiny. Diablo 4. Starfield. Big City Greens. Thirsty Suitors. I still am yet to play that game. Did some voices for Invincible. Urkel Saves Santa the Movie. The Bad Guys, A Very Bad Holiday, which is like a holiday special for the Bad Guys movie, I think. Carol and the End of the World. This is a long credits list, especially done a fuck ton of work in the 2020s, especially. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League as Wonder Woman. Shin Megami Tensei 5 as Cleopatra. The Vengeance, I think it's DLC. My Adventures with Superman as Livewire and Leslie Willis. Cool. The Ren and Stimpy Show reboot. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Avowed. Date Everything as Faria. Borderlands 4. Dr. Seuss's Horton, which is a TV series apparently. Mighty Nine, of course. God of War Son of Sparta as Circe. Or Kirke, if you want to be fancy about it. And a voice on the reboot of Cartoons and Dosa Divas most recently. Damn, that's a working fucking actor. God damn. I can't get over that she's fucking Kale. Never played her much. I guess that's why I didn't recognize. And Lou Wilson. Love seeing Lou Wilson show up in places. Oh, that's a cool name. Assistant character design, Stanley von Medve. That's a cool fucking name. Yaxira McNear Echevarria. That's also a cool name. There's a lot of cool names. Edge Animation was responsible for this one, it looks like. Yeah. As ever, the in-betweeners, underappreciated because their work becomes kind of invisible between the keyframes a lot of the time. But no smooth animation without in-betweeners. Oh, for those who don't know, a lot of 2D animation, usually you'll have like lead animators and keyframe animators, and they're the people who sort of draw the basic outline of a piece of animation. It depends on the situation, like especially like what the production is like. Some keyframe animators will animate very, very little, but they'll lay out like the character needs to start here, then they move in an arc like this, then they go here, then they go there, then they stop here, right? Like they'll lay out the very basics, and then it's up to the in-betweeners to fill in, okay, to get to here, from here to there, the in-betweener has to draw the in-between frames, right? That's usually how it works. Sometimes you'll get like lead animators who are very involved and like do a lot of the work, and the in-betweener sort of just cleans up in between it. Sometimes you'll get a thing where the keyframe, the person doing keyframes just does like the very basic layout, and the in-betweener really does the vast majority of the actual movement. It depends on the production, but in-betweeners are crucial. They are very, very important for a show looking like anything. And they don't get credited as much as lead animators do, because they're not the people who really define the performance so much as they're people who are sort of assistants in helping bring the performance that the keyframe animator is sort of like in the lead animators imagining to life, usually. But like with anything, it's like you don't get the show without everyone. Every single role is important, especially like the retake people. I wonder how many retakes they would have had. And also, like, production managers and production coordinators and production assistants, I've talked about this before, but, like, if you don't have good production staff, like, these are people who might never put pen to paper, right? Like, they don't do any of the animation, they don't do any of the stuff that you sort of see on screen, but without the production managers and coordinators and assistants managing the shots, making sure that animators know what they're working on, and like they're all communicating, and like that there's a communication and production pipeline going on, nothing gets done. Nothing on an animation production gets done without production coordinators and producers. It just does not. Like, they're the people responsible for herding the cats that are animators a lot of the time. And it's the thing of like you don't get an animation production without the people who are responsible for the logistics of it, because it is a huge puzzle to put together all the shots, all the music, all the assets, all the everything that needs to be assembled in order to put a show like that together. You don't get it without them, right? And like their work is not visible in a direct sense, but none of the work becomes visible at all if they are not on the ball, right? This is something I think the creators of Lackadaisy talked about in an interview I saw a little while back. Was one of the things that they eventually sort of had to realize is like, we cannot run this production without like production coordinator and like an actual proper producer. They were trying at some point to run their production without really having a production staff, and everything ground to a halt all the time because there was no one making sure that all of these things were like flowing correctly between teams and shit. And so they had to hire one, and they're like, this is the best thing we've ever done. I remember they sounded so relieved. And it's true. It's like when or if this career ever gives me enough money to pay someone else like a salary, I think an assistant or a producer or something is like, that's going to be number one thing that I look into investing in, because boy. Yeah, not a super impressive episode, just a bunch of solid character interaction. I liked Caleb and Beauregard's little series of trust exercises. I like the dynamic there. And it is that thing, like, we're heading towards episode 7, then episode 8. We're definitely not going to get satisfying character arcs for everyone at the end of the season, which, like, I kind of knew. It's 8 episodes, right? But it is that thing of, like, I mean, no, I've ranted about it before. The fact that seasons are so short, it does carve into the stuff you could do with a series that had, like, a few filler episodes where it's just the characters hanging out and doing shit. Maybe someday. Maybe someday we'll get 24 episodes of animated 24 seasons of animated shows again. But it is not this day. Anyway, let's watch episode 7.